Welcome back, my dear student. In this lecture here, we're going to be doing some crazy processing, all right? It's just going to be a little complex for those of you that have never coded something like this. And for those of you that are, a little bit experienced, it might be a little easier. But some of you might have to repeat this lecture a couple times, all right? That's okay. I'm here to help you out too, all right? So again, we need, just like I said in the other lecture, we need to pull out the product ID, all right? And so how do we know what the product ID is? Well, remember that every time we add the product, we are also adding the ID to it, which comes in the add get request, right? So remember that the session is looking like this every time we add it. Cart 1, all right? Remember that 1 is the ID of the product. So if we add another product, it would be cart, right? If we add, let's say we click add in another product, we'll display the other product's ID here. It could be ID number 10, and then we'll increment it by 1. So what we need right now is to grab this piece right here after the underscore, which would be the product ID, and then we're gonna select everything from products where ID equals this right here. So that way we can pick out the products that are added to that session at that time. All right. And so how we're going to do this? First, we need to do some type of operation in the session. So for that, we're going to use a for each loop. And we are going to do some operation in the session. We're going to take the session apart. Remember, this is just like an array, right? We'll take the name of the product, all right? And we'll take the value out, which will be the ID, all right? So if for some reason we want to go ahead and check this out, right, this is just taking any session that's coming to that page, but we don't want to take any session, right? What we want to do is, remember, this is taking the key of the associative array and this is taking the value. So this would take every session there that, let's say for example, it would take product 1. It would take that and apply it to name. So name now would be equal to product 1. Now whatever is equal to, if this is equal to 20 as a value, that would be assigned to this. So basically the for each is separating this, all right, and allowing us to have the key of the associative array and the value, all right, and separating right here so we can use it. Right now what I want to do is I want to check to see, because we might have other sessions here, right? We don't want to just grab every session and do an operation on it, right? We want to grab the session that has the information that we need. So let's go ahead and do if, and we use a function called substring, and we'll say if the name, which is the key of the array, is equal to, this is the start, all right, and this is the finish. So we start at 0, which is going to be the first letter, and remember we have to, so substring is going to take a couple of these characters, all right, and take it out of the string. So we have 1, that's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. All right, so that's what we want to do. We want to take 7 out. So 0 to 7, and actually, okay, so if this is right, so now this substring right here is gonna be equal to this, hopefully, right? So if it is equal to that, and we'll do it right here, product, right, then we'll want to echo something out, all right? As a matter of fact, what we're gonna do is we're gonna be displaying all this in there. All right, let's see if that works. Let's do our query and do everything else in there. Let's make sure this is indented correctly so that way we don't have a problem or get confused. This is the for loop right here. Right here, let's just do that. All right. And then we'll do everything right here. All right. So if it is equal to, then we're going to show the product. If it's not, then we are not showing the product. Let's see if it works. All right, so it looks like it's working, right? because it's not showing anything. So let's go ahead and echo that out, right? Let's echo if it's equal to, we'll find, let's just put something else in there. Let's see what happens. Enter. It's not echoing anything out. So if it's equal to, then we show this. So it's not equal to, that's why it's not showing. So 07 product, let's say product, maybe the substring is bad or something. Let's just play around with the substring. Maybe I might be wrong. Maybe the substring starts somewhere else. 0, there we go. So the substring is showing me actually a couple products over and over again there. All right, let's put this one here. And all right, so this is how the substring works now. All right, let me correct that. So if it starts at 0, all right, it starts, this is the start of the character here, but this is 1. If this is, and this would be 2 right here. All right, sorry about that. Sometimes when you use a lot of function, this happens. All right, perfect. So let's correct this product. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it would be 8, and it should stay the same. There we go. So it's working, and if we make it 7, it's not going to work. Oops. There we go. All right, perfect. So now we have this working. Now we can subtract the ID, all right, from the session, and then loop through it right here with a where statement, with this actually put in the SQL statement and then loop through that a specific product. Anyway, we're gonna do that in the next lecture. Okay, all right, perfect. So remember, this substring really doesn't mean that this is the first character. It doesn't start like that. This is just means that it's gonna start at 0, and then this one it just means that it's gonna take the first character, and if you keep going, it's gonna take second, third, and fourth, and fifth. So it's not 0 based. All right, perfect. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next lecture.